Well, there's really no easy way to say this, but I have to have surgery. So yeah, I am preparing to have the first ever surgery of my life. Besides my wisdom teeth, I've never had surgery before. In fact, I've never had a major injury before. I slightly tore my rotator cuff, had a small fracture in my hand, but both of which I was able to avoid surgery. Things healed on their own. But this time around, I have something that is unavoidable when it comes to surgery. So I'm a little nervous, like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm about to break down what happened and why I need surgery and why I'm even making this video. I'm making this video because I wanna share this journey with you, right? You might be watching this and may have gone through something similar, or you may down the road go through something similar. So I want you to have a resource for the situation that I'm in right now that I never in a million years expected to be in. So here's what happened. A couple weeks ago, I was in the shower, I looked down, and I'm washing my area, and I noticed right above my area, there was a small little bump on one side of my groin. Now, immediately I panicked. I thought, oh my God, like all these crazy thoughts went through my head. I thought, holy shit, I have cancer, right? Or, oh my gosh, I have like my ball like went up in my area or something crazy. Like I just started like checking everything. I started freaking out. Once I settled down and like started researching this, I realized that most likely I had a hernia, an inguinal hernia. Actually, it's pronounced inguinal hernia, right? So it's a groin hernia. Basically, what's happened is that the fascia down there, the abdominal fascia wall, has burst. And what's ended up happening is my internal organs are pushing through a slight little hole in my abdominal cavity. Now, this is not like my intestines are hanging out of my belly here. If you've never had a hernia before, it can sound really crazy and freaky, and you're like, oh my gosh, that sounds horrible. But at the end of the day, it's actually really common. In fact, this type of hernia that I have happens to be one of the most common types. It happens mostly to guys. And when I started doing my research, I realized that this is actually a big time genetic issue. My father had a few hernias. Now, back in the day, they used to have a different method for fixing the hernia. Basically, they just stitch it up. There wasn't a mesh that goes in to help protect that hernia from happening again. And so my dad had a couple hernias in the same spot, right? So I'm thinking that it's probably genetic because, in all honesty, one of the biggest things that I do is train smart. I don't ever lift crazy heavy weights. I don't ever push myself to the point where I know I'm being stupid and I try crazy things that might stress my groin or stress my lower back. I never do that, right? I'm an injury-free coach and trainer, right? So if that hernia becomes strangulated, right, that's where you're gonna actually have to have emergency surgery. So I don't want it to get to that point. So what I'm actually gonna do is get the hernia repaired as soon as possible. What it'll end up doing is putting me out of commission for a few days right after the surgery, and then I'll have to be really cautious with lifting heavy things or lifting weights at all for the first couple weeks after the surgery. Now, my specialist, my doctor told me, since I have a background in health and fitness, have a pretty good understanding of my body, I coach hundreds and thousands of people all over the world, and I know how far to push myself and all that stuff. He said I should be back in like full swing just a few weeks after the surgery, which is fine, right? Like, totally cool. I can still focus on my nutrition, focus on staying active as much as possible. But obviously the most important thing is my health. So to be honest with you, I'm super, super nervous about the surgery. I am not a fan of going under the knife. Even just the thought of it makes me ill, right? Kind of get like a stomach ache. I feel like, ugh, what the hell's gonna happen? Anesthesia, I've only had it one time when I got my wisdom teeth taken out. It was like the freaky shit, man. I woke up cursing and like, oh man, it was just really, really weird. So I'm a little nervous for that, just being honest. But I'm gonna document this whole process. Right now, my biggest strategy is staying away from anything that starts to make that hernia area feel uncomfortable. So I'm not doing any kind of legs where my groin is being put in a compromising position. I'm not doing any kind of strong core work. I'm being very cautious when I lift things. I am staying active. I'm doing a lot of band work, a lot of lighter resistance training. Anything at all though that puts any kind of pressure on the hernia or groin area, I'm staying completely away from. Sitting down like I am right now actually starts to make that area feel a little bit more pressure. So I'm just having to really be mindful and not be stupid and be stubborn and continue to try to work through this. This is not something you can work through. You have to work around it temporarily and then get it fixed, all right? So I have to get surgery. That's the bottom line. There is no magical way to fix this damn thing besides getting it actually fixed. They're actually gonna put a piece of plastic mesh in there so that when my abdominal wall pushes out against the mesh, it's like strengthening. It's like actually reinforcing a house with steel rods, right? A house made of wood or some other material. If you come in there and you put some reinforcement in there to make it stronger, that's what they're gonna do for this hernia. So stay tuned. If you have any questions at all, or maybe you experienced this before, maybe you went through this and you can give me some encouragement, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm a little nervous, like I said, but I want to get it fixed because I want to get back to training and working out hard as hell like I do all the time, continually getting stronger, getting better, and just being able to feel totally cool with my body, all right? So that's it. Hopefully this video helped you. If it did, please subscribe, but definitely leave a comment below. Let me know if you've had a hernia before, if you have any experience with it, or maybe you just want to wish me good luck. That would be appreciated. But definitely subscribe to the channel, and talk to you soon. Peace.